Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing really, really well today. I'm Michelle Legaly. I am the creator of the Empaths and Sensitives Facebook group and several other things, and I want to welcome you to our live training today. Every single week, I come on and do some type of tool, tip, training, inspiration, somewhere in the area of coaching, life coaching, talking about the inner work. Lots of times I talk about intuition, your intuition, because we are sensitive souls, but also about teaching people how to trust their own intuition, right? Like I come from the back in the day where I would actually give intuitive readings to people. And it's one thing to give people insight through a reading, but it's another next level thing to help someone, to guide someone to tap into their own answers. That's like teaching people how to fish. And that's what I'm really into now. And that's what I try to teach you on these trainings. Okay, if you are here with me live, would you say hi in the chat? I would love it. Today is all about the difference between life coaching and inner work and why they're both important. And I've been using this model. I bet most of you have seen it. It is supposed to represent an iceberg, and it represents the model of the mind. This is the line above the water line, below the water line. This is what is conscious within us. This is what is subconscious within us. There's also, people talk about the superconscious, which I completely believe in that model too. And not that long ago, my husband looked at this and he said, where does the superconscious fit into that? And I never thought to ask myself that question. So I didn't have an answer right away. So I needed to think about it. And then my husband said, I think it just overlays all of it. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's the best answer. So that's how I picture it now. The conscious mind, the super conscious mind that drives the human being. And then we've got super conscious. And there's probably many different definitions of the super conscious, but my definition of it is all that is, access to all that is. And we are a part of that. Okay. Awesome. Thanks for being here live with me. Okay, so let's talk about life coaching, inner work coaching. I've been teaching and coaching people for many years. I've had my own certification program for many years. Last year I called it the Intuitive Life Coaching Certification Program. We have rebranded. We call it the InnerWork Life Coaching Certification Program. I do that because I would have so many people afraid to join certification because they were afraid they weren't intuitive enough. And so I'm like, if one more person comes to these calls and says they don't feel intuitive enough, I feel like I was taking people's confidence away from them. It's not about being intuitive. The intuitive part is you learning the skills to help your client tap into their intuition. It's you learning the skills for you to tap into yours. It's not about giving readings for me anymore or teaching people how to do that. Okay, so we moved to the program's now called Inner Work Life Coaching. And what I mean by inner work is we tap in or help our clients tap into this deeper stuff. Okay, so if we're going to use this model, which I haven't found a better model yet of the human mind that makes sense to me. We've got our conscious mind that's at 10%, I've heard. I have no way to prove that, but it seems to be right. And what's in our conscious mind? Our thoughts, our thinking, our willpower. Think about our willpower. How many times you've thought you didn't have the willpower? That's only a little percent of which, energy. The way you perceive things in your conscious mind, the meanings we give things and events and circumstances, and judging is a conscious mind thing. But the funny thing is, even though these are conscious mind things, how we think, how much willpower we have, how we perceive, the meaning we give things, and the judgment actually all gets driven from this. Does that make sense? One of the ways I've been trying to explain it to people is like wearing glasses. So the thoughts I think, let's just do it this way. When I look out, I have a window over here. When I look out the window, I can perceive things. I'm perceiving the tree. I'm perceiving my neighbor across the street. I'm perceiving the lamp post. If somebody else was standing here, they would say, oh, that's weird. I perceive a driveway. I perceive your car. I perceive the green grass. Then someone else would stand here and go, no, I see the slide over there. Why does that person have a pool on the side of their house? What? Do you see what I mean? We're literally all seeing different things. We're perceiving different things. We're giving meaning to things. We're thinking different things. Our willpower, the energy of our willpower is different. And the way we judge things is actually getting driven by the glasses we wear, which is our subconscious mind. So the benefit of life coaching is this part. When I say to a client, or you say to a client, what do you hope to accomplish? What do you hope to accomplish? I just want to know what's in their conscious mind. I want to know what they're thinking right now. I want to know how they're judging themselves in their life. This is just like the tip of the iceberg, right? And when I start to ask those questions of the conscious mind of the person, to me, it feels like a doorway. I've asked the conscious question, and it's the doorway for us to go deeper. And then this is where real change takes place. When you start helping people tap into their feelings, their emotions, their body, their intuition, their imagination, you'll get them deeper into like their values and their beliefs in themselves and their place in the world and their place in their family. When you start to shift this, their outer world changes, and yours will too. Mine does too. Does this make sense? This whole premise of doing the inner work is based on this belief I have that says the outer world is only a reflection of the inner world. The circumstances in life are just a reflection of the inner stances. I just made up that word. I don't know if it's a real word. The outer stances are just a reflection of the inner stances. The outer world is just a reflection of the inner world. And if that's true, I think that's really exciting. It takes us out of victim mentality. It takes us out of pointing that way and saying, that's right, that's wrong. If anything in the outer world bothers me, I just go, I just got triggered, or that's really bothering me. That means I'm ready to come inside and see what that's all about. Does that make sense? What do you think about that belief? Do you like it? There's so many benefits to you believing the outer world is a reflection of the inner world. Number one, you're completely responsible. I'm not saying blame. I'm just saying you have way more control than you realize. Like I want you to feel that power or that ownership. The other cool thing I love about it is we always have us to work on. We can't make Joe Schmo change. We can't change the weather. We can't really change the politics. We can only really change the way we judge it, perceive it, and how we perceive it. And if we are perceiving things in a way that are disempowering to our lives, we have the power to change that. And I don't change it by trying to change the world out there. I come back into myself and go, oh, I got another piece to work on. The other benefit of you starting to try this new belief on for size is, I already said we already have us. We don't have to control the outer circumstances. This is us. It's going to reveal to you places in you that you're ready to heal. So let's say I'm with my mom hanging out and she says something and it flares me up on the inside. Like it happened before Christmas. Somebody in my family said something and I immediately had this flared up feeling and the thought of, see, I'm not supported. They don't support me. And I caught myself. I could have not caught myself and just thought about it for days and days and been sad about it or mad about it for days and days, but I didn't. I caught myself as soon as I said it. And then I did the inner work, because that is a disempowering thought and feeling that doesn't serve me. And you might say, but Michelle, it's true, they weren't. But I'm telling you, when I did the inner work on that, and I spent time writing out that sentence and all the other sentences I was thinking and how it made me feel, and asked myself if that was 100% true. And I thought, no, it's not 100% true that I'm not supported. And then I had myself write all the times I was supported. It blew my own mind. it blew my own mind. I busted through, I'm not supported. I was holding on to that belief and I busted through it. I haven't seen it since. And I just went through the holidays, peeps. You did too. Our greatest times to be triggered. So it's good. So do you see how that was a circumstance? That was something outside of me that happened. And then it triggered me. And then I had something to work on. I called the people who participated in helping me see that my greatest healers. So everything about this model is so empowering to make our lives better. Does that make sense? Okay, so this is life coaching, talking to the person, noticing how they're thinking, noticing what they're saying to you, noticing how they perceive the events in their life. And then that's the doorway for us to help them do the inner work and question their beliefs, process the emotions, notice where they're holding on to patterns that are disempowering to them, and asking them if they would like to keep them or do it a different way. We keep bringing these things up to the conscious mind. I'm going to go off the rails here, but before I don't know where you are on your journey. I have a good idea now where I am and what I'm doing and what I'm passionate about. So, but there were many years I didn't. I was like, I don't know what my life purpose is. I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm just kind of felt like I was floating around with no GPS. And I remember when I would meditate on it, I would just get this inner voice that would say to me, you're going to help people become conscious of the unconscious. And I went, what the heck does that mean? And I wrote it down. I would, go off the rails for a while, then come back to my meditation maybe months later. I'm like, where's my life purpose? I'm spinning. I don't know what I'm doing. You're going to help people become conscious of the unconscious. And when I think about what I do, and I didn't know what that meant back then, but little by little, I just kept working at things and trying things and joining things and learning things. And then here's where I am today. There's so much in my life that is literally helping people become conscious of what's here and keep bringing it back up to them. And it's so cool for you and me and everyone to start living this way. Like my private clients, it's so cool when I get with them and they'll say, hey, I had something come up this week. And I thought, is that true? Or sometimes they'll say, I just said, what would Michelle ask you right now? And then I ask myself that question, and they literally coach themselves. They pull up those patterns and question them and decide if they want to keep them or not. It's so cool to start merging these two worlds together. Okay, I hope that's helpful. I wanted to show you today life coaching and inner work coaching. So life coaching's here, inner work coaching's here. If we just work with people as life coaches and we stay here, I don't feel like people's lives change that much, at least not to the degree of transformation I want for myself and others. So this is good, and this work is great. My clients, I expect them to see real and measurable change after every single session. And I want people that I teach to coach, my own students, to have that same expectation. I love therapy too. I'm not dissing that model, but this is a different model. We're going to do some deep work. We're going to tap into the body, the emotions. We're going to move things here. And then the outer world seems to change. I cannot tell you how many times something's happened in the outside world that triggered me. I came back in and processed and looked at, and it's really more about processing the emotions, which are tied to what I believe, what beliefs are attached to those emotions that keep the pattern energized. And when I start to look at it and start to process the emotions, the pattern loses its energy and it starts to dissolve. And then I hope that makes sense. And then I go back out into the world. I can go back into a similar situation and I'm consciously looking to see if it happens again. And sometimes it's weird. Sometimes it never happens again. Sometimes it happens again 10x. It's weird, like it could get worse for a minute. And then sometimes it happens and it doesn't trigger me. There's a couple different things that could happen. But all I know is clearly me changing my energy is making a difference in how I'm perceiving the outside world. It's not showing up the same way for me anymore. Okay, what kind of questions do you have? Does anybody have any questions about that? I've tried so many different things. I literally, my life is an experiment on transformation. And there's not a greater thing that I've learned than what I'm trying to share with you today about this inner work. It's all, the world is just you. The way you perceive the world belongs to you. And you have the ability to keep it that way or change it. It's up to you. There's no right or wrong way to have your life. But I want you to know how much power you have within you and how much choice you have within you. And I want us to start waking up to the truth of that. And I don't want to convince anybody else of it. I just want to share it with you. And if it resonates with you, you take it and run with it. Okay, does anybody have any questions? It's a really empowering way to live. I see it with my children. I see the ripple effect of me learning this and how it's changed my life, my children's life, my husband, and ripples out into my family, friends, community, things like that. It's amazing. And then another tangent is, I just think, I don't want to get political or about what's going on in the environment, but even if those big things trigger us, if we got together as a group and started healing how much it bothers us, I think there's going to be less of it in the world. Does that make sense? We live in a society right now where we bring more fight against things, which is important too, to bring awareness to it. But if we could come into a place where we start to heal it within each and every one of us, I think the world becomes a better place. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Any questions? Okay, if you are interested in this, I have a training coming up at the end of January. It's called How to Become a Profitable InnerWork Life Coach. It's going to be a 5-day challenge. It's really going to be for 5 whole days. It's going to be, you can register. It's free. You can register. And I'm also going to have a VIP, which will be the second time I've done this. And it really worked out really good last time. If you decide to join VIP, it's $37. With VIP, you can come into my Zoom room, and we're going to do an extra 30 minutes of training every day as a small group. So let me say it again. So the challenge is for 5 days starting January 31st. Anyone can join. There's 2 paths. You can join for free, and you can just sign up. It'll be name and email, and you can just click enter, and you'll get your emails, and you're welcome. You'll get a workbook. You'll get all the things. You're going to also be asked, would you like to join the VIP? So regular training will happen every day from 12 to 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. And then VIP, we're going to go an extra 30 minutes in my Zoom room. So you'll have an hour of training every day. And it's usually a small group of people, so I'm really going to be able to answer your questions. We're going to do the inner work. I'm going to take you through some coaching. We're going to go deeper on each subject that I'm going to teach each day. So there's the link. I put it inside the comments. Let me see if I can put them here. Okay, there. I don't know if that even helps that I posted it right there. If you want the link to sign up and you can't find it anywhere, just say me in the chat. If I see anyone say me in the chat, I know you're asking me for the link, and I'll make sure to get it to you. Okay, I hope this was helpful. This is the work I'm passionate about. Oh, I'll say one more thing about, how this is the group called Empaths and Sensitives. I started this Empaths and Sensitives group because that's where I was in 2017. I was struggling as a sensitive soul. I'm not there anymore, but one of the main reasons I'm not struggling as a sensitive anymore is because of this. I probably need to go into another whole training about that. Really, if you are struggling as a sensitive soul, please sign up for the 5-day training. Even though you might not want to become a coach yet, just come and start learning about this. Sensitive souls, if you are hypersensitive, like I was, You probably have ailments. You might suffer from anxiety and depression. You might not want to go and meet with other people. You might have some physical ailments. All of that stuff is in because you're in hypersensitivity. At least that's what I've decided for myself. And me doing this work has been the biggest change in my life. And I've done a lot of things. My own doctor, who is an integrative doctor, he started me on acupuncture when I came to him with all my ailments. And he believes in this type of work. And I was doing this work at the same time as getting consistent acupuncture. And he said to me, I have never seen someone heal from this, from leaky gut, rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, all those that I had, as much as I'm the client. No one has ever, what am I trying to say? He's never seen someone heal that fast. And he asked me how I did it. I said, I'm coming to you for acupuncture. I said, but the biggest thing I do is I consistently do the inner work. I consistently process emotions that are coming up for me. I know how to do this now. Okay, cool. I hope that's helpful. If I see a me in the chat, I'm going to make sure to get you the link. Either I'll post it just right here and you can come back for it, or I'll send it in Messenger, whichever I can do. That's easy for all of us. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you next week. Okay, bye.